Hey guys, good afternoon. It's Angelo Christian Financial. Hope you're doing well. This is our Real Estate Insider podcast. It's where America goes for funding and to learn about finance and credit. We've been doing this for over 20 years, actively lending in America and helping people with accomplishing their financing goals. And so today, one of the things that we're talking about, it's a great topic, and it's one of the biggest things that we see in our industry right now is going from a 1099 to a W-2 employment. And a lot of people ask us, and this is actually for one of my YouTube followers, John Van Dusen. He asked me to make this video. He said, Angelo, can you get a mortgage loan if you're going from W-2 to 1099? And so that's what I want to talk about today, because a lot of people, they work multiple jobs in order to take care of their family, put food on the table. And sometimes they're doing W-2, sometimes they're doing 1099, sometimes they're doing both. Sometimes they leave a W-2 position to go to a 1099 position. And then, a year later, they want to buy a house. And a lot of times their lender will tell them, look, you don't qualify for a mortgage because now you went from W-2 to 1099 and now you can't get approved for a home loan. We get that call literally probably 1,000 times a month. And their bank has denied them for the loan because they went from W-2 to 1099 or 1099 to W-2. So I want to talk about some of the requirements when you're trying to get a mortgage loan, if you're making a transition with the composition of your income. Because if you do change from a 1099 to a W-2 or a W-2 to 1099, it can affect you from what you qualify for. So I want you guys to be aware, if you're out there trying to get a mortgage loan, of what's possible and what's not possible. So the biggest thing is, if you are going from a W-2 to a 1099 position, if it's in the same industry, ideally you have to be on that position for at least a minimum of 1 year to 2 years before you're eligible to get a mortgage loan for a primary residence. But if it's an investment property, there is no seasoning and waiting period, okay? So conversely, if you're going from 1099 to W-2 and it's a salary, there is no waiting period, okay? If it's an hourly wage and you're going from 1099 to W-2, you have to be on that job for at least 3 months before you can get credit for that income. All right, so these are huge takeaways, but that's for primary residence only. If it's for an investment property, there is no seasoning period. Okay, so this is very powerful because it's going to make you aware when you're trying to strategically plan for your family and getting a mortgage loan of, before you take on that job with that offer letter, well, if I'm trying to buy a house, I need to probably stay W-2 or I need to stay 1099 because I don't want to change my composition of my pay, because now it could affect me for me getting a mortgage approval. Does that make sense? So you want to make sure before you take a new job, if it's going to affect you for getting a mortgage, if you're trying to buy a house within the next year or two, because it can affect you, okay? The biggest thing where we see it affect people is if they're going from W-2 to 1099, it will affect them from getting a mortgage if they're not at least 1099 for at least a year to 2 years. Now, that's if you're in the same industry. If you change industries, you have to be there 1099 for at least 2 years before you're eligible to get a mortgage loan, okay? So this is very important because if you are trying to buy a house and you think that, I can just change from W-2 to 1099 and there's no consequences, there are consequences, okay? And so just let this be a lesson and a message to anyone that that's trying to get a mortgage loan, and maybe they're thinking about changing from becoming an employee to self-employed. You have to be self-employed for at least 2 years before you can get a mortgage loan. Now, that's for primary residences. If you're doing investment properties, these income and composition of pay questions don't really arise because investment properties are underwritten on the assets. They're not underwritten on your income. So if we can help you with any type of mortgage loan for self-employed or W-2'd, you can call or text the number above at 832-431-6331, or in the YouTube description, there's a link to get signed up, a secure link. You can apply right there and upload all your documents at our secure link and Angelo Christian app. Either way, you can do either one. We'd love to hear from you. That's what we're here for, is to help and serve you guys to get you the best mortgage loan that's in America. So call or text our office at 832-431-6331. We'd love to hear from you and help and serve you in any way that we can to get you the best mortgage loan. And don't forget to watch us every Thursday, 7 p.m. Central, Talk with Angelo Live. Watch Angelo Christian. Thank you. Give me a big thumbs up and check out my next video. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.